G'day there guys, my name's Marky, and welcome back to some more stories from Reddit. I do hope you enjoy. Let's go. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my brother's wedding after he invited my ex? So here's the situation. My 28 male, younger brother, 25 male, is getting married soon, and I was excited for him until I found out he decided to invite my ex-girlfriend, 27 female, to the wedding. Now, let me give you some background. We broke up over a year ago, and it was pretty rough. She cheated on me with his best friend, and it took me months to get over that betrayal. When I found out she was invited, I was furious and reached out to my brother to express my feelings. I told him that I would not attend if she was there, but instead of being understanding, he got defensive and accused me of ruining his big day. He insisted he wanted her there because they've become friends since the breakup and that she has changed. I told him that if I'm not welcome, then I won't be attending, and therefore, I won't be covering my share of the wedding expenses, which I had already agreed to pay before the invitation fiasco. My family is pulling me in every direction, saying I'm petty and ruining my brother's wedding for no reason. They're calling me an asshole for not supporting my brother and for potentially putting a financial strain on his wedding plans. Some even suggested that I should just suck it up and attend for the sake of the family. I've now decided that I'm not paying for a single thing, and that if he wants to have a wedding with my ex as a guest of honor, it's on him to cover the costs. Am I the asshole for standing my ground and refusing to fund my brother's wedding under these circumstances? Additional information from OP. Just to clarify, I'm not upset about the wedding itself, but about the fact he invited someone who hurt me deeply. I feel like my feelings don't matter to him, and frankly, I'm tired of being the one expected to just roll over. In that case, OP, then no, you're not the asshole. Everyone else just doesn't want to shoulder the cost of this wedding, they want it to be on you. But that also raises the question for me, why are you paying for it? Usually it's parents bankrolling weddings like this and not the siblings. So my question is, why did you offer to do it in the first place? He's well aware of your feelings about your ex and how inviting your ex to this wedding and giving them such an honorific role would affect you, and yet they expect you, as you say, to just roll over. I don't blame you for being tired, and your brother is wrong for doing that to you, so not the asshole for pulling your money out. A commenter says, not the asshole. Your brother is being incredibly insensitive by inviting your ex, especially after she cheated on you with his best friend. It's your right to decline attending and not contribute financially if it makes you uncomfortable. And OP says, yes, I think that he's insensitive, yet I still get the blame from my family. Another commenter says, not the asshole. This woman betrayed and hurt you, and now your brother is friends with her and she's changed? Don't pay, don't go. Hold strong and give your brother a "I told you so" when she cheats on his best friend. Your brother is showing you how important you are to him. Believe him. And OP says, thank you for your input. This "I told you so" will be the most satisfying one so far in my life. Another commenter says, not the asshole. But what's the deal with all these people paying for siblings' weddings? When did that become a thing? OP says, honestly, I don't know why my brother and his family expected me to pay for the wedding. They also have quite high standards for a wedding, so it's expected to cost about $25,000. OP on why his unemployed brother is getting married. Why he's getting married in his current situation is beyond my understanding at this point. And is OP going to fund the whole wedding? Not anymore. I'm gonna go on a cruise instead. OP then comes back with an update and says, okay, so I wanted to update everyone because things have escalated, and it's even crazier than I expected. After my last post, I thought maybe my family would come around to my way of thinking, but instead, they absolutely lost it. My brother called me crying, saying I'm ruining his happiness, and my parents have taken his side 100%. In a fit of rage, I ended up posting screenshots of our conversations in our family group chat. You know, the ones where he called me selfish and petty. Yeah, I regret that decision, but it felt like a let's air this dirty laundry moment. My extended family saw the texts, and now half of them think I'm justified, while the other half is calling me the family villain. To add fuel to the fire, my ex-girlfriend reached out to me directly. She said that it's unfair that I'm acting like she's some monster when I should just be mature about the situation. I told her she would always be a reminder of my brother's betrayal and that I won't ever see her in a positive light. She then had the audacity to say that my brother might reconsider his whole wedding if I'm not there. I'm not seeing the problem here, actually. Now my parents want us to have a family meeting to discuss this drama like we're some sort of reality TV show. This belongs on 90 Day Fiancé. I told them I'm not showing up if it's just gonna be him whining while my ex is basking in it all. Call me dramatic, but this whole mess has made me feel like I'm in an episode of a soap opera. So now I'm considering throwing some cash into the mix for an epic weekend getaway instead of funding his wedding. His wedding is becoming about my ex and not about him. Honestly, I feel justified in saying no. I'm still standing my ground, but part of me is genuinely worried this might tear apart my family. Additional information from OP. Just to clarify, I'm not trying to ruin my brother's happiness. It feels like everyone is more concerned about my ex's feelings than mine. I'm genuinely confused about why my life choices are being judged when his choices directly impact me. I made reservations for a cruise and will be away during all of the drama. Honestly, I think it's the best way to escape this mess. OP on what he plans to do with the money now. Says, "Thank you. I'm really excited to leave the drama behind. I'm cruising to the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, and I heard the diving and snorkeling there are incredible. The vibrant coral reefs and marine life look absolutely stunning. Does the fiancé know about his brother's history and the cheating incident?" OP says, "The fiancé doesn't know yet. I haven't said anything to her because I think it's up to my brother to decide how and when he wants to reveal his history to her. Maybe he wants to wait until after he marries her." Captain Delicious Pants says, "If I was OP's potential sister-in-law, I'd be pissed at the brother for fumbling the bag over a random girl who cheated on OP. He has to be banging her or something for it to be worth all this drama." Fries with Shake Booty says, "I saw this posted elsewhere, and yes, bro had a turn with the ex. OP needs to let his future sister-in-law know." Grouchy says, "I saw the original comment a week ago or so, but I found it by looking through the OP's comments, but seeing as though the account is gone and there's 1.6 thousand comments, it's difficult to find it again. I do remember that it wasn't a big update or extra info comment, it was literally one line like, 'Yes, bro as well,' or something. Not even any detail in the comment to make sense on its own. That's how I found out. The lack of info caught my attention back then." I repeat, this is definitely an episode that belongs in 90 Day Fiancé or before the 90 days. The shit I've seen on that TV show, it blows these situations out of the water. Thank God you're staying out of this drama, OP, because getting a response from you is exactly what your ex is looking for in this situation. Do not give it to them, and just let your ex completely derail your brother's life, as him going along with it is what he deserves at this point. Have a great time at the Great Barrier Reef, by the way. I'd love to know what you guys think of this one down in the comments below too. And with that said, let's get to the next story. Our next one is by a throwaway account, titled, "Should I sue my girlfriend for selling my stuff?" We're both in our early 20s and have been together for 3 years. It's been 2 months since we moved in together. When I was a teenager, I was obsessed with collecting Pokemon cards. I had over 5,000 cards in my collection. A lot of them are very crappy, worth half a cent to $3, but some are worth up to $250. Personally, I never intended to sell them, or at least not in the near future. My girlfriend gave away my entire collection to her cousin 1 month ago without asking me, since he asked her if he could have them when he visited us. She gave them away, believing that since I'm an adult now that I won't need them. As I was cleaning my room a few hours ago, I realized my collection box was missing and I went crazy looking for it. An hour later, she came home after running some errands and told me what she did. I told her to get all of them back, and she's refused because it would be humiliating for her. What should I do? I have a recording of her confessing to it, so I can easily get compensated for it in court, but I'm assuming that will effectively end the relationship. Though I love her a lot, I believe I would rather have my cards. Truer words were never said. It doesn't seem right to sue her for this, but I don't know how I can recover my collection. Is there a less aggressive way to handle this? Please let me know. Advice? Not really, OP. I don't think that there is. I think you got to take her to small claims court if she doesn't want to get the cards back. But if I'm going to headcanon this situation, find who the cousins are and get in contact with that family and ask for them back. This relationship seems over no matter how you look at the situation. Like, she doesn't want to get humiliated for stealing from you, basically. At this point, I give you free reign to do whatever you want. Besides abuse. Abuse would make you an asshole. OP says, edit, she gave them all away for $10. Hugtao says, do you have an estimate for the total value? And OP says, $5,000 to $5,500 in today's value. Yugen says, I'd agree this is a deal breaker. What an ass. She's more concerned with her ego than fixing her mistake. Yes, I saw he refused, but she didn't try hard enough. Has she even apologized? Discombobulated says, I bet she kept the $10 too. As for the cousin, what an asshole. Obviously it runs in the family. OP, I guess you have to go over and explain the collection wasn't hers to give or sell. Just how snotty you have to get depends on what they do about it, I guess. Also, most likely you'll have to give that snotty kid $10. Edited to say that you'll probably have to take your girlfriend to small claims court since she doesn't want to embarrass herself. Please update with the decision you made. OP says, defo contacting the police because apparently I'm a man-child with ego problems who just wants to humiliate his girlfriend in front of her family members. Like what? OP also added, the small claims court can only award me up to $1,000, equivalent to my currency, which is not the monetary value of the cards. There is also sentimental value, which is worth way more. My sister is a lawyer, and she said since the monetary value is huge, the police will get involved and treat it as a serious matter. I have given her time to think about it, but if she doesn't do anything, then I'll go and file an FIR against her and the cousin since I won't have any other option at that point. OP then comes back with an update and says, holy shit, I never thought that this is how 2021 would end. A lot has happened since my first post, and first, thank you for the support, some tips, and good luck. I'll start by clearing some assumptions. In my original post, I said, though I love her a lot, I believe I would rather have my cards. This statement alone pissed some of you off, so let me elaborate on that. My first ever 300 cards were from my father's collection. He died of hepatitis C. He was quite into gaming. My mum kept his cards for years and gave them to me when I was in my early teens, and I got hooked. I grew the collection to 5,000 cards. There was immense sentimental value attached to those cards. After my girlfriend refused to talk to the cousin, refusing to give me the cards when I asked, his parents being jerks to me, I took the legal route, filed an FIR. Initially, I had trouble since the police didn't care about some cards, but my sister, who is a lawyer, she's about to become a lawyer, told the police the estimated value, and they got interested. We told the police the $5,000 value of the cards. It took some time, but the police eventually confiscated the cards and got them appraised by a company. They came back with a value of approximately $6,000. I told the police the missing cards were also of substantial value since they were very old. Son of a bitch sold the one my father left behind. Cousin told us who he sold to, and those people gave the cards back with no problems. Right now, the police have all the cards. The cousin who I knew had his eyes on my cards threw my girlfriend under the bus. I know this because he wanted to buy those from me in the past, but I refused. He told the police that he bought those in good faith. My girlfriend also tried lying to the police, but since I recorded her, she got into even more trouble. She got charged with grand larceny and also fined for lying to the police. I should get the cards by the end of this month or by early January. The police just said they need to finalize and file some reports, and then I can have them. As for proof of all of this, I had the cards photographed front and back, along with some receipts. Some of you are also saying that I should take this to small claims court. This amount is too big for that, at least where I'm from. Edit. I forgot to add, my sister wants to sue all of them for emotional distress, but I don't know about that. Any advice on that? Nick P says, probably time to quit referring to her as your girlfriend. OP says, shit, I'm so used to it I didn't even realize. Impressive Cricket says, quote, the cousin got some ass whooping in front of me. Do elaborate, please. OP says, when the police went to confiscate the cards, my sister and I were with them. They got them, left, and we just stood there, and his mother slapped the shit out of him. I don't condone violence, but I won't say I feel bad for him. Man Bear Pig is Real says, wait, I thought they were being jerks to you. Why was she upset with him? OP says, they were jerks to me in the start when the police weren't involved. I asked them first nicely, they were jerks, and then I went to the police. So when the police went and confiscated the cards, that was when the mum slapped her kid. Yes Girl user Reddit says, do you think that it's because she didn't believe her kid could do such a thing and she's slapping him because it got proven? Or is she slapping him for making the parents have to deal with the law? OP says, I honestly think it's because the police came to their house with their sirens on and all the neighbors came out, so the embarrassment would have been unreal and she was probably taking that anger out on him. OK Replacement asks, what did your girlfriend have to say about all of this? Has she apologized? Has the cousin received any sanctions? How long will your girlfriend spend in jail? Has anyone in her family said something? And will you keep updating? OP says, she honestly said a lot of stuff like how I'm prioritizing cards over a human, I'm choosing things over my girlfriend, so I'm objectifying her, which makes me a misogynist, and that she hopes I never have sex or get a partner and that I die miserably. She said all kinds of wild stuff, and no, hasn't apologized. The cousin got nothing. He and his parents lied, and my sister said not to say anything since we were getting what we wanted, which is the cards. I don't know what else to update. I should get my cards soon. Icy Cockroach says, quote, though I love her a lot, I believe I would rather have my cards. This statement alone pissed some of you off. I hate that the OP needed to justify this. Latent says, agreed. Who knows what she would have decided for OP next? How can you feel safe with someone who you can't trust, who prioritizes themselves regardless of the pain they cause, and believes OP's sentimental attachments are irrelevant? People only got mad because they think that cards are stupid. Remember that chick that tossed her boyfriend's mother's ashes into a river? Nobody supported that crazy chick. The cards aren't ashes, but they can have an even stronger emotional attachment to them, as they're something that you can interact with and something that represents a passion his father had. Given a choice, I'd much rather have something like that than ashes. Yeah, it's insane that his girlfriend said he prioritized cards over a human, but yet she prioritized the cards over him for her cousin. That's some insane projection and manipulation going on right there. Glad that OP had such a solid spine behind him and such a supportive sister that will actually go the extra mile to make sure that you get the cards back and that OP actually got some justice in this situation, as he should. Thank you for sharing the story with us, OP. I hope everything continues to get better in the future. But what did you guys think of that one? And what would you have done differently in this situation? Let me know in the comments. Okay, and our next post doesn't have an update, but it's from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit. It's posted by user KKOK5505 and is titled, Am I the asshole here for cancelling all of our streaming services to hire a housekeeper without asking my husband first? So my, 28 female, and my husband, 30 male, just welcomed our first baby almost 3 months ago. Understandably, it's been a huge adjustment for both of us. She's still not sleeping through the night, and we're both back to work full-time. We've always split the household responsibilities 50-50. We just help where needed, and it's always worked out well. Lately, my husband's been doing the chores terribly, and I've had to come behind him to fix things or clean them again. For example, he cleaned the bottles the other night, and they were cleaned so poorly that I had to do them again. He dropped pump parts down the disposal and then ran it, ruining them. Is this weaponized incompetence? Is it? It feels like it to me, or is OP an unreliable narrator? There have been several clothes that he didn't clean after a blowout that are now ruined. There are many more instances like this. I've confronted him a few times, letting him know that we all make mistakes, and I know that we are both tired, but it feels like he's not even trying to do things well. He just keeps saying that he's so tired and is having a hard time working and taking care of the house and baby. I do sympathize with this as I'm also working, pumping, recovering, and taking care of the house and baby. But the final straw for me was when he told me to go to sleep and that he would put up the milk that I'd just pumped and finish the dishes. I was so grateful until I got up and realized the milk had been sitting on the counter and at this point was no good anymore. He said he was sorry and he put on a show to relax for a bit before doing the dishes and fell asleep. The next day, I decided to cancel all of our streaming services, PlayStation Plus, and our theme park passes in order to hire a housekeeper. The theme park passes? You only got to pay for those yearly. Oh my god. Evil. I figured if he's too tired to do basic household chores, then a housekeeper is necessary. If he's too tired to put milk up, then he's too tired to play video games or for us to go to a theme park. Honestly, kind of valid, I'm not gonna lie. We still have cable and the PlayStation games and can do other activities outside of the local theme park. He blew up at me and said that I had no right doing that and was furious. I thought I was doing us a favor so we can get some more sleep and not worry as much about household tasks. So am I the asshole here for hiring a housekeeper without asking? I want to say that decisions made in anger cannot be undone, but I don't think that applies to this situation. You've tried so many times to get him to understand where you're coming from, you've tried to communicate with this man, yet he keeps using his weaponized incompetence against you and keeps making excuses for his actions and doesn't change for the better. Instead of doing better, he just says, "Oh, I'm tired, so therefore I'm not going to try." That's not okay. That's genuinely not okay for him to do that. If he continues to slack and make excuses, that's going to lead to the breakdown of the relationship, and I think you're justified for your actions here. If he's not going to change, something else has to change in this situation, and getting a housekeeper so that he can have his rest if he really is tired, while having to sacrifice these other pleasures, that has to happen. Like, the alternative is divorce, and you guys not being a team anymore, and I don't think either of you want that. I think you're not the asshole in this situation. Badass Mills says, wait, did you cancel these things in order to afford the cleaner service? Or did you cancel because you think it's taking up time? OP says, yes, to afford it. No Lychee says, OP, from someone who went through this with twins, what you're going through is normal when the babies come home. It's exhaustion, depression, etc. I did eventually get a nanny after my wife kept asking for one. What you have to realize is that not everyone handles being sleep deprived the same way. In my household, it was the opposite. I'm used to operating with less sleep due to work, but my wife wasn't. You have two zombies walking around and annoying each other, and the infant doesn't help. You should have discussed this as a couple and came to the decision. Canceling everything was a power move to punish him for making mistakes. If it wasn't, then why did you just do it without talking it out first? I gave in to a nanny even though I didn't think I needed it. But at the end of the day, it was for the sanity of my wife. You have to work as a team. Get through the next 6 months somehow, and you will be golden. You're the asshole. Fork says, she has discussed this with him. He responds, but I'm tired. Which is him abdicating his responsibility to come up with a solution as a couple. That was his power move, telling her that it's her problem to figure out, which she did. Fleet and Flotilla says, nah, there's no excuse for him telling her to nap because he would clean up and then immediately going and relaxing. I don't care how tired he is, he's definitely milking not doing things right, and even if he's not, it's not appropriate for him to make things harder on her when she's also tired and capable of not doing everything half-assed. OP is absolutely correct. If he's too tired to do the chores right, he's too tired to need all of those luxuries. OP also comes back to the post with an edit and says, I see a lot of comments about communication. I have been communicating non-stop about my needs and expectations. I've let a lot of mistakes slide because I know this is hard for the both of us, but when it became a daily thing, I let him know if he's unable to do his part, then I needed additional help. I mentioned hiring some help, and he laughed and said, what a ridiculous waste of money. I knew if I asked again, the answer would be no, so I made the decision for the both of us. Also, I didn't throw away the TV or PlayStation, I just cancelled our subscriptions for them. We were paying around $100 between the two. Our internet includes a handful of cable channels and Peacock, and we have plenty of PlayStation games that we can still play. We both play video games and watch TV. I probably watch more on streaming, so cancelling them affects the both of us. Housekeeping is $300 a month, and everything I cancelled, including Disney passes, is about $230, so it won't be as much of a financial burden. Plus, it'll save more money as well since I won't have to replace destroyed pump parts, clothes, and breast milk. And that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I know that was a bit of a contentious one at the end. And as always, I'd love to know what you guys have to think about this one down below in the comments, because it's interesting seeing different perspectives on these things. As always, thank you for coming and watching today's episode. I love your faces, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye!